There are scholarships that were available, but I did not get through any of them. In fact, whenever I checked, they were either the deadline was over. Here, I did not see help from doctors. MEd program, so you don't need GRE or anything else. Went on applying, that was there, but I wasn't expecting anything because I knew they are not hiring. Working on campus, there's no limit as such, but when you're doing off campus, you have 20 hours. Even after you graduate, you have 1 year. You can use that service free of cost. Pandemic was going on, right? And things were pretty uncertain. So I decided to take up the course so that I can, I either work as a freelancer if I'm not getting a full-time job. I would stay on campus, but then I looked up the prices and I was like, no, not at all. It was, I think, around $1,500. Don't rely on anybody or anybody's recommendation.
Hi guys, welcome to College Dunia Study Abroad. This is Varun, and today we have Charo Arora with us. Charo Arora is pursuing a master's in education, focusing on education technology and learning design at Simon Fraser University, Vancouver, Canada. Hi Charo.
Hi Varun, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So Charo, can you introduce yourself for our viewers and talk a bit about your background, like what you were doing in India?
Sure. So my name's Charo and I am originally from Mumbai, and I am a teacher by profession. Back in India, I was working as a teacher at Children's Academy group of schools. I worked there for 4 years, and after that, I pursued the MEd program here in Canada. A little bit about my educational background. I am a BSc graduate in hospitality and hotel administration. But I wasn't very keen on doing that, so I went ahead and I pursued my BEd. And after that, I got my job at Children's Academy, and then I was also doing my ME in history.
That's interesting.
And yeah, thank you.
So you have double degree, like post-graduations.
Yeah.
That's nice. So, Charu, like, what all universities did you apply for when you were planning for your master's?
Well, I looked at a lot of them, but there were 2 universities that I actually applied for. The first one was Simon Fraser, which I always wanted to get into. And the other one was Lakehead University. I did apply there, but that was for gender studies. I got through them as well, but my first preference was Simon Fraser. So
Okay,
I
that's nice.
continued with this one.
So, why Simon Fraser? Why was it your first preference?
So Simon Fraser offered this MEd program. So after doing my BEd, I was looking forward to doing the MEd program. And it's offering a very unique blend of educational technology as well as learning design. So I looked up a lot of other universities as well, but they were offering this course on a completely online mode, which I wasn't looking forward to because the pandemic finally, it has taught us that in-person classroom, experience is very different. So I wanted to do that. And this was the only university that offered such a course, and we have face-to-face classroom discussions and activities.
Okay, that's nice. So, that's actually true. Like when you mentioned, like online classes were really not teaching much, I guess. So, I have this one question for you. Like you mentioned that you've done your MA as well, right? So, why you wanted to pursue another post-graduation?
So this was basically all thanks to the pandemic. When the school completely moved online, we were asked to make video modules and PPTs and scripts and all of that for the students, and this had to happen like really quick. So I was one of the few teachers who created, who got an opportunity rather to make these video modules and all of that. And I found it so much interesting because there's so much to do with it. You can add videos, you can add images, GIFs, and kids benefited a lot because you can upload it, and even if the child was sick or not available at that moment, they could, simply just refer to the link. And yeah, I really enjoyed making those modules. So I thought, let's not, keep it just there. Let's take it a step forward.
So like let's
And yeah, that's
upskill.
how I came across this. Yeah, absolutely.
That's nice. So when you were applying for this university, did you give any exams like GRE, IELTS, or TOEFL?
I did give IELTS. That was the only exam that was required by the university, in fact, and it's an MEd program, so you don't need GRE or anything else.
Okay.
I gave, I think, the academic exam just once, and I
Okay.
was lucky enough to get band 8 in that.
Wow,
Um,
that's nice.
yeah, thank you.
That's really
But
nice.
the catch was that I had already given the IELTS general academic test. So I was
Okay.
aware of the pattern and I wasn't as nervous.
That's good. Like, yeah, sometimes it does happen. Like, if all of a sudden you give it for the first time, it really messes your mind. So, so
Absolutely.
the next question I have for you is like, how did you manage your SOP or LORs? And were the LORs completely professional, or you were able to get any academic LORs?
Luckily, the website of the university provided all details, and they mentioned that they need 3 LORs, one from a professional background and 2 academic. So I went back to my college teachers and I requested them. I sent them an email and I spoke to them for it. And then I also got in touch with my headmistress from Children's Academy, Miss Venus Savla,
Okay.
and she was sweet enough to write me the LOR.
Okay.
And regarding the SOP, so again, there was a list of questions that was already provided on the website.
Mm-hmm.
So I just had to, take that as a
Okay.
checklist and see that I've incorporated all the information that is needed.
That's actually a smart way by the university as well. Like, it really helps many students.
Absolutely. And in fact, I did not have to go anywhere else. Of course, I looked up sample SOPs and all, but I knew what I have to put in already. So that was really nice on part of the university.
Yeah. So let's talk about the course structure. Like, what is this course like? What's the structure and like what do you get to learn?
So the course is basically to train you as an instructional designer or a learning designer. So we have 7 courses, and so it's like you can take one course at a time in one semester. There are 3 semesters in a year, and you can choose, from the 2 options that are available every semester. You can opt for both of them as well, for both the courses that are available in one semester, but I feel it will be a little burdensome. So usually, people take just one course at a time. And yeah, I think the duration would be around 2 years, not more than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's nice. And how many credits?
So each course is 4 credits.
Okay. And a total of
I think 4 by 7, 28.
28 credits. Oh, that's unique actually. I hear most of the master's courses are always like either 30 or more credits, and I think this is the least
Yeah.
one I'm hearing.
Yeah, and in fact, there's an elective that we need to take. That is 3 credits more. So yeah, it's 31 actually. You're right.
See. Well, now it makes sense.
Yeah.
So what is the fee structure like? How much generally the tuition and everything? Like, what's the I-20?
So the tuition was around $2,000 per semester, and when you add the miscellaneous fee charges, it comes roughly to around 2,500 per semester. So when I was in India, I had to like transfer 1 year's fee
Okay.
to get the visa. So I transferred around $8,000 Canadian dollars.
Okay. That's
That
nice.
was for 1 year, yeah.
And then another 8,000 for the second year.
Yeah, depends on the semesters that I'll take in the second year.
Oh,
I am
okay.
hoping to take only 2. Let's see.
Okay. So you can finish it in any number of semesters, that means.
Yeah.
Okay. And are there any scholarships that were offered by university?
There are scholarships that were available, but I did not get through any of them. In fact, whenever I checked, they were either the deadline was over or it wasn't applicable to my course. So
Okay.
that was one problem. Yeah.
Yeah, that's always tricky. I mean, like scholarships are always tricky, I guess. So, does your course as well has these opportunities like teaching assistantship, research assistantships, or like do they have any other kind of uh, you know educational job, like part-time jobs?
So whatever you said was there. So you have TAs, TMs, and RA options that you can go for, but chances of getting into it, I have felt that it's quite slim because they look for something specific, right? And but yeah, I keep applying for it. Let's see. Let's hope I get through something. But yeah,
So
apart
there
from
is
that, you
competition.
yeah,
So there
there
is,
is definitely. And apart from that, you have on campus jobs that
yeah,
you can apply for. I'm currently working with the call center at Simon Fraser University.
okay,
It's basically student fundraisers job.
okay,
So we need to get in touch with the alumni,
yeah,
and yeah,
that's nice.
that's
That's interesting. So, how much salary are you able to earn?
it's about $17 an hour.
Okay,
Um, but that's above the minimum wage, right? Minimum wage here in BC currently it's 15.65. So
okay,
yeah, it's definitely above that.
yeah. And is there any limitation for number of hours you work per week, or is it like up to you?
Yes, if you're working on campus, there's no limit as such. But when you're doing off campus, you have 20 hours. Yeah, that's the limit.
Wait, uh, on campus 20 or after?
Off
Off.
campus.
And on campus there is no limit.
There's no limit now.
That's weird. That's like other way around. I thought it
Um,
would be.
no. Off campus, when you're not working with the university, you have a limit, right?
Yeah, that's a really
Yeah,
interesting
off
concept. I
campus
mean,
you have a limit, but when you're working on campus, when you're working with the university, there's no limit as such. But of course, you need to ensure that you don't work a lot
yeah,
because ultimately you need a lot of time for your assignments and
yeah,
projects.
yeah, yeah. But generally, let's take US. It has a restriction that you should not work more than 20 hours even on universities. But here it's completely different, and that's kind of unique.
No,
So,
I heard like when I got my study permit, that was the first thing that I saw. So yeah, if it's on campus, I don't remember them mentioning about a limit. But
got it,
off campus, they had.
got it.
It was
That's
20 hours, yeah. And you should not work more than 20 hours then.
yeah. So coming to the course, like what are the future prospects of this course, and like what kind of jobs, and does the university helps you find any jobs like for the full-time opportunities?
Definitely, they have a lot of placement fairs. I think it's every quarter, if I'm not wrong. Um, Plus, they have a career services that they provide that's free of cost. Like even after you graduate, you have 1 year. You can use that service free of cost. They put up a lot of things on their portal, so you can go through all of that. And there was one more thing that you asked. Could you just repeat it again?
So what kind of jobs do you get to do
Yeah.
like once you graduate? Like what kind of roles?
Uh, so back in India, I was working as a teacher and I wanted to actually shift from that. So this course that I'm taking, Educational Technology and Learning Design, it's training you for becoming either a learning designer or an instructional designer. So you're going to basically make courses and it goes beyond just schools. You can work with corporates as well. You can work with private sector, public sector, whatever, and you can prepare courses for them.
Oh, like the training sessions that happen in corporate sector or public.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
And
that's
also,
interesting.
you have a lot of websites now that want you to make courses, and then you can just sell
Yes,
it online. You can put it on Udemy, and that's like the common
yes,
platform.
yes.
Yeah.
That's nice. I mean, like it really has a scope then.
Yeah, it does.
So, so what's the probability of landing up on a job, like on a job opportunity once you graduate?
Well, I did not only look for it in Canada, so I am actually looking globally.
Yeah,
If I talk about instructional designing, I think there are high chances if you're good with your work.
okay.
Definitely you will land up with a job because you're not only limited to one industry, right?
Yes.
It's your horizon has expanded, and I would say about I think most of them, yeah, most of us get a job.
Yes,
But I
that's nice.
haven't looked up the
That's a
statistics
good
as
news.
yet.
Yeah,
But there were few alumni whom I spoke to before joining the course. I think they all are doing very well.
that's good to hear actually. And does it anyway affect the current situation, like all over the world recession kind of thing is going on? So does it affect your field as well
Effect as in if I'm working globally or how is it?
in terms of finding jobs? Like
Mhm.
in as you mentioned, it is vast, it is wide. Like you can work in any industry. In any way, is your job role or the job responsible? Like whatever job that you are trying to apply for, is there any difficulty in that?
I don't think so
Okay.
because since you're working online, even if like this was my initial thought that because pandemic was going on, right, and
Yes.
things were pretty uncertain, so I decided to take up the course so that I can um, I either work as a freelancer if I'm not getting a full-time job or get self-employed. I can create my own courses, maybe open up my own website and just
Yeah.
put things there.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
Nice.
definitely going to help.
So, what kind, like, can you name some common companies that generally hire students from your university?
I haven't looked that up. I'm sorry.
No
I
problem, no
I
problem.
generally did not, but I do know a lot of companies. So there is TransLink uh, that requires instructional designers here.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I did not only look at just Canada or something. So
Yeah, no
I
problem.
I didn't
Yeah,
find it necessary,
no
honestly.
problem. I mean, like, if you know, that's it. That's what I thought. Some people do keep an eye, some people, like, they might not know because every year it changes. So, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's fine. So, talking about you, what was your first impression when you first landed in Canada and then, going to the university? Like throughout, like how was your first impression here? I mean, in Canada.
It was a little intimidating, I would say, because I had never traveled abroad and I was always staying with my parents. So, new experience, I would say. I was thrilled to be here, but something that really helped me was because it's a new place, you don't have anybody. I think technology helped me a lot because I used to um, use a lot of Google Maps and check where my university is, the Airbnb that I have booked, where it is, and how far or how close. Then
Yeah.
go to the street view and all of that. I used to do that. But other so you get familiar with all these things and you're not as anxious. But otherwise, I would say people are very helpful. They want to help you. There's no one who's going to bully you for not knowing things. And so that was a general thing that when I came to Canada, I realized. And with regards to my university, I think people are very supportive. They they know international students are always under stress. So they have a lot of services that they provide. You can get in touch with you can get in touch with your professor, your program advisor, and or maybe just drop an email to the university, ask them that, this is my query, whom can I consult?
Yeah,
And they get back to you within I think a day or two, max 2 days.
that's really nice. So
So it was very helpful.
so I guess you had really wonderful experience then in the
Definitely,
till date.
definitely.
Yeah. So how's the Indian community at your place, and how diverse is the university in comparison to that?
So if I speak about the diversity, I think we have people from everywhere. You'll find a lot of Indians and Chinese and Vietnamese people around, but you have people from almost everywhere. I have friends who've come from Mexico, people from European countries, and
Yes.
all of that. Speaking about the Indian community, I have Indian friends here, but I haven't joined any community as such
Okay.
because I don't want to limit myself there, because
Yeah.
they are your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do have friends that I'm in touch with,
Okay.
but yeah, that's
Yeah, I mean, like that's one thing I wanted to know. Like, sometimes in some universities it's like mostly Indians all over, and like so in that aspect, I wanted to know like how is your university?
it's pretty diverse, I would say. It's not just I won't say that Indians are a majority or a minority, nothing like that. It's a
Okay.
good mix. I
So Simon,
enjoyed that.
so Simon Fraser does have a good mix.
Absolutely, it does. And it's wonderful.
That's really good to hear. So let's talk about your living situation. So do you live near to the campus or away from the campus, on campus or off campus? Like what's the situation like?
So initially I thought that I would stay on campus, but then I looked up the prices and I was like, no, not at all.
Yeah.
It was, I think, around $1,500 for, I think, 1 month.
Oh,
So that
that's a
was
lot.
too much. Yeah, that was a lot. And moreover, the university that I am in, Simon Fraser, it has got 3 campuses. The main one is at Burnaby, which is far away from the campus that I have in Surrey, where all my classes are.
Mhm.
So, like, if I chose to stay there, I would have to commute, like, almost for an hour.
Okay.
So I chose to stay close to this university, to the Surrey campus. I did not find on-campus accommodation here, but then on their website, they had few affiliated portals. So I came across places for students where there was a place listed where I'm currently staying. It's about 2 kilometers from the university and pretty close to the SkyTrain station.
Mhm.
So yeah, it takes me barely 15 minutes.
Nice. That's nice.
The rent isn't that high.
How much is the so I was coming to that part, but before that I wanted to ask this question. So you mentioned it's 3 campuses, right? So is there any difference? Like are they all together, like just classes in different buildings kind of situation, or like there are 3 different administrations or something?
So they have classes. So classes are everywhere in all the campuses, but so I think it's program wise. Like certain programs are in one particular campus
Yeah.
only.
So it's a one university, but it's spread across. That's what.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's right.
Okay, perfect. Because even for me personally, we would get confused. Okay, it says 3 campuses, so it should be good to study in main campus, right? But I think I got your point. It's like the main campus might not have your course, but it is all under main campus. That's what you mean, I guess.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I mean, it will definitely clear out many students' doubt about such situations.
Yeah. In fact,
So
students should look up that, because I am facing a little bit of an issue here. It's not an issue, but just a small thing, that because the main campus is at Burnaby, it's far from here. I miss a lot of events. A lot of events are only at Burnaby. You will not have it here in Surrey, neither in
yeah,
Vancouver.
don't they have any commute service for between the 3 campuses, like from the university? Arranged by
Not
the
that
university.
I know of.
That's a down point, I guess.
Yeah, but then the university provides us with a U pass, so they charge you around $175 or $180 every semester, and you get that U pass, you get your compass card, and you just need to tap, and you can use all their public
Okay.
transports. Yeah,
Okay. That's
so it's
nice.
really
Yeah.
nice.
So, well, again, coming back to your living situation. So, what is the rent you're paying, and what kind of accommodation are you in? Like, what type? A single room or a shared room? Like,
So this is basically a room, a private room that I have in the townhouse. So there are 5 rooms here, and 5 people are staying.
okay.
The rent is 550, but it's all inclusive. The heat, electricity,
So,
water,
all the
furniture,
utilities included.
everything. Yeah.
Oh,
I have
furnished.
even, it is fully furnished. Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's
And there's
really
laundry on site.
wow. That's like
Cherry on top.
comparatively, I think it's cheap, I guess, compared to many places. That's
Oh,
nice.
touch wood. Don't jinx it, please.
No, no, no. So, what are your earnings per month with your job? You like working 20 hours?
Well, I haven't yet received my first paycheck, to be honest, because I
Oh,
moved here in January
yeah,
23, like this year.
yeah.
And as you know, Jan, Feb, there's no hiring at all.
Okay.
So, yeah, I did not even look up, like, I went on applying, that was there, but I wasn't expecting anything
Yeah.
because I knew they are not hiring. Mid-March, I started applying again and I got through the SFU job that I have. And yeah, I think my first paycheck should be here soon. I am hoping for that.
No problem. So, okay, let's talk this. Like, what is the average monthly expenses, like total expenses generally? Total.
Um, so for the first 3 months, I did calculate everything. Um, your GIC amount that you have, that you get around, I think it's $730 a month. It is not sufficient because depending on your accommodation, if you are staying at a very cheap place,
Yeah. So, what is GIC? GIC? Yeah.
GIC is the Guaranteed Investment Certificate that you need to open with a bank.
Okay.
So before moving to Canada, if you want your visa to go through the SDS category, I think it's somewhere, you get your visa faster. So in that, you need to make sure that you've given your IELTS, you've opened a GIC account. There you need to invest. You need to deposit, I think, 10,000 Canadian dollars.
Okay.
And apart from that, for the SDS category, I think you need to pay 1 month's fee to the university.
Okay. Got it.
So every month from your GIC account, you get some money. So I get around $730. It's not enough because, particularly when I came here in January, the thing was that I paid my deposit. I paid the first month's rent,
Yeah.
and I had to stock up everything in my kitchen, right?
Yeah.
So I put in, I think, around $150 to $200 for that.
Like an extra other than the 700. That's what you mean?
I'm sorry. No, only for the grocery.
So, okay, fine. Let's do this. Like, it's been anyways more than 3 months for you since you're there in your university. So, what were your expenses like in last month? Just the last month.
Last month I would say I put in around $100 for grocery, um, 550 for my rent,
Okay.
about $35 for the phone bill,
Okay.
and this month I will also have to pay for my MSP. MSP is the insurance that you need to take.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that will be a whooping $75.
Okay. So it's around
I
720,
don't see any
710.
benefits of it as of yet.
Yeah, I think
Because
I
I
get
did
it.
fall sick, and then I got to know that um the walk-in clinic would take me hours
Yeah.
to meet a doctor, and the same thing was even an emergency. So yeah.
I mean, like insurance is always needed, so you can't deny that. So you were spending around $760. That means a month.
Yeah,
So
that
rough.
is the minimum.
That's the minimum. And what would you say, rough with a buffer? How much would you?
I think 800 is what you require,
Okay, eight
at least
hundred.
$800. And if you want to purchase something for yourself, like I want to purchase an iron, so that's like around $20 more. So I actually have to keep a budget.
Got it.
So if you want
Okay.
to buy something else for yourself, you want a heater or something extra,
Yeah.
yeah, you'll have to budget it.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. So on an average, let's say $800 to $900 if you are spending extra on some other items.
Yeah, minimum 800.
Like eating outside maybe or going out something. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
counting
yeah.
them and saying 800 to 900. But yeah,
Every time you eat outside, it's around $25.
that's huge as well again. But yeah, so can you share one good experience and a bad experience you had till now since you've been there?
Bad experience, I would say, when I had fallen sick. Um, because luckily I had my medicines and I could call up my family doctor back in India, because here I did not see help from doctors and we are
Okay.
not used to it. So there's like my landlord is a Canadian and they were fine. They said it's normal, it's fine, it's okay. You're not gonna die. But
Okay.
for us, yeah, we become anxious because we are used to seeing a doctor the moment we are sick.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that was one bad experience. Good experience for many. Um, I have a very supportive professor, so if there's any problem, I can go to him. In fact, when I was struggling to find a job towards March, because I realized that I'm, running out of
Yeah.
funds and I need a job. So he was the first person I approached, Dr. John Nesbitt. He was really kind, and in fact he asked me for my CV and he said that I'll be sending it to my colleagues and let's see if you get
Yeah.
hired somewhere. Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah, that's really nice. So yeah, and any advice for the future aspirants, students who are planning to pursue masters at Simon Fraser University?
Well, I would say do your own research. Don't rely on anybody or anybody's recommendation. And if you have queries about that particular program, drop an email. Don't hesitate. People are going to give you answers. They are there to help you. And don't just research about the university, research about the location as well, and see if you are able to manage the environment in which you're going.
That's nice. That's some good advice, strong advice. Uh, but yeah, well, that's about it from my side. And thank you so much for sharing your experience and giving such good advices.
Thank you so much, Varun. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. And have a good day. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Have a great day ahead.